At the moment, we are following the National Institute of Communicable Diseases guidelines. Those patients who actually meet the case definition will only be tested. What is the case definition? So if we're looking at people who might have any of the following symptoms like a cough, fever, shortness of breath, have had a history of travel and now it will be actually international travel. This case definition has changed, the epidemiological definition has changed from time to time as more and more countries have been affected. So basically, anyone with a history of travel, or if you've had been in contact with a close contact with someone who has been confirmed with COVID-19, or if you're a healthcare worker who perhaps have actually treated a patient or been exposed to someone with COVID-19. So the definition at this stage is quite broad, but the dominant symptoms that has come through is mostly cough as well as fever.
And respiratory?
The respiratory distress, the shortness of breath it's been the progressive symptom in those patients who've had perhaps a more chronic or a prolonged cause in the illness.
And some people have not presented with any symptoms but have tested positive.
Well, at the moment, there are very few. So what we're saying is the best chance of getting a positive result will be in those patients who are symptomatic. Symptomatic patients have shown to shed the virus more than asymptomatic. There isn't much known at this stage of how much virus is actually shed with the asymptomatic individual. And that is why we are insisting that we want to stick to the case definition of testing symptomatic patients, simply because if you are testing for the virus too early or too late in the disease process, you're going to get a false negative. And that may affect the measures that you take. And if you're going to present yourself at testing, that means you have to present yourself thereafter again when you finally develop symptoms, if you do, around day 4, between day 4 and day 7.
Okay. And in terms of your case definition, travel is key. So if you've traveled abroad?
Yes. So remember that case definition will change on a day-to-day basis. As I said, initially it was China, then it was Italy, and then there were other countries as well. Now basically it's travel, whether it's international or even local, because if you have to consider the transfers from international to local transfers that will occur, so even your domestic flights can pose an issue. And we also have to, as I said, brace ourselves. Once we get sufficient number that are exposed in the community, you're going to get community transmission. So there again, you'll start expecting a change in the case definition.